Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing a ridge build I stumbled upon, and I rebuild this at the end with more information about the traps. And I did slack a little bit on the last one, and I apologize for that. And this one I worked a little harder on. Uh, this one also took about 3 days for me to build and test. And that being said, this build for Ridge basically pushes them into the geyser, and it's basically a non. It barely kills them that much. And this build I stumbled upon has an enormous amount of block off over here with the weird formation. And like I said, this isn't my build. This isn't my buddy's build. This is just a random match I ended up playing. Uh, and I did end up uh, figuring out the mechanics compared. I basically strapped this to my old build, and I saved at least 100, if not 200 structures compared to my old build, basically. So basically you build less than previous if you haven't built on Ridge yet, this is a perfect build because it doesn't use that much materials. And it I got it to work on my base, and I didn't even use what they used. Alright, moving on. Now that I get off subject, like normal. As you see, they have just the basic uh, pathing that paths them to that geyser. I'll get more into that near the end of the video. But they spawn here. This is their spawn point. The basic build that you need to do is block off that hill over there, however means you deem necessary. A trap, a wall launcher here with wall launchers in this corner. This prevents any assassin husks from messing about. These walls over here basically need the wall launchers to push them away if they do end up getting there. With the two floor launchers, with roughly a 3 impact that pushes them up, and they will come in there, so you will have to kill a couple random enemies there. We're basically pushing them down there into the pit area, so you have 4 squares before they get to the evening top part of the amplifier. Alright, is that a lot? Don't worry, I'll cover it again near the end. But as you see, this is their build. Like I said, I'll cover the traps better on my build. This is just me highlighting this awesome build I stumbled upon. And this is their pit. Their pit is just covered completely, but basically the enemies go down into the tunnel down there, and they'll loop around into the water spout, and they'll just continually hit the waters over and over and over again, and they relatively don't despawn. From what I noticed, what I see is a couple random enemies die here and there from other things, but most of the enemies get trapped in this trap box here, and they'll just keep hitting this water spout. So if you build it exactly like that, then you'll have the relative thing. And this out here, it isn't necessary. This right here is for a different build that is connected over there that I may not even cover because believe it or not, we have about as I'm shooting this, we have about 10 days until the next venture season, and that'll keep us busy for at least 2 or 3 weeks, which is fun. And yeah, see, so the enemies will pass this way. If you want, you can add a tar trap there. That's a smasher defense. Their their amplifier is built a little different than mine. And that being said, I'll cover more of that in a few days after I determine my build. So after several rounds of testing, my build uses a lot less structures than their build because they had a massive ceiling to block off the slingers. Mine is more directed to more just kill the slingers, and I keep an eye on it to see if it overflows. But most of the time they don't overflow. But there's a handful that get slung to the top of this. I use a alternation of dynamos with different timing. So therefore, if two of them hit at the same time, then it easily kills them before there's any damage to my amplifier, is what I determined. And I've ran about 11 or 12 tests, which some of them were long haul tests, and I determined this amplifier, the way I built it, it did detour them. I may have overbuilt, and I still need to remove some stuff. But this slinger wall here, just an angled wall around that area, should stop them. And then a block off, block this off how you feel free. I may have over blocked that off a little bit. But basically, you have to block that off to keep them from going up that ramp. Because like I said, we're trying to detour them toward that water spout. And in order to get them to the water spout, we have to knock them off into the pit area so they will start walking toward the water spout. And the only reason why they walk toward the water spout is because we gave them a path to walk up with that little stairway that we had at that water spout area. And like I said, and this is my build. Compared to their build, I used a 4 impact and a 2 impact wall launchers here. And this is just basically just to keep them off that wall, off these walls. The assassin husks and some of the enemies track toward players. And that's what this is mainly preventing here. And like add health to some of these walls will prevent any enemies from even wanting to hit those walls. So my spikes have added health, and the floor launchers there it just launches them up into the thing. And this fireball here will kill a couple of enemies, which is intended. The ceiling up top there, and basically it's 2 ramps. It's 2 ramps angled is what you'll need there, and connected near that 3 tiles off the floor. You'll need the drop ceiling tires, basically to kill any enemies that try to go underneath there, because there's no way to completely block that off. But with the pathing here, they still go straight for the amp because we have an open amp. And I was going for the no damage whatsoever kind of build, so I didn't add floor traps where I'm standing. But down there, you'll have to have the wall launcher with just the basic, and that knocks them in. My pit, I have no plans to build anything other than maybe changing my pit. Other than that, the next video you're gonna see is gonna just be me discussing the rest of their build, which I don't even understand because I tested some of their other build and I couldn't get it to work properly. And I'm sure there's tutorials out there on their build, but as you see, I'm just pushing them in with 2 impact walls. And if you haven't a problem with them going too fast, you can add the wooden floors. I didn't add them because I didn't want any damage. Some you can add the tar. The tar pit slows down smashers, and the smasher gets knocked off there. That's why the tar pit's there. This is for propane, just in the rare event during a later wave that your durability's down and the propane gets up here. That sound wall is helpful. Is what I determined. And they're just gonna get knocked down here some way or another, and you can ignore all these. I added extra. I don't know if those are necessary, but this part right here, that's all upgraded, is the main part that is necessary for this magnificent build that I built on my base, and I saved. I don't even know how many structures I have. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you're already a subscriber, then you're awesome.